And like the homeless people, like how we're living, they want to have a job like anybody else, like us. And sometimes it's not easy. Nowadays it's nothing easy nowadays. By getting a job like that easy. If you want to go get a job, it might kind of like do an application, give me your name and your number, and I call you. They never call you. Never.
One of the things that I keep seeing time and time again is that there's so many men that are in the United States, in major cities, that have no purpose, or they're just broken down, especially when it comes to the veterans. There's so many veterans out on the streets with mental illnesses, physical ailments, physical illnesses, injuries, just mangled up men. And I really don't know what the solution is, but I know that whether it's a veteran, whether it's just a homeless man, whether it's just a man that's kind of drifting through life, there's a major epidemic going on with men not having purpose. And purpose could be as simple as having a regular job and benefits.
They need jobs out here, and people need to they can't discriminate you what you are. If you can't speak Spanish, they still have to tell you.
You fought in Afghanistan?
771st Airborne Special Forces Sergeant First. Yeah. See, I got blown up now. Yeah. And then a car hit me and broke my foot. Yeah.
Have we become such a broken country to where the workforce is just totally undesirable for men? A lot of people, especially a lot of men, take out their abuse and their anger and their frustrations on men at the workforce. Their insecurities come out at the workforce on other men. We are not creating a movement of men that have job stability. We are not creating a movement of men who are being taught how to go to the next level, how to sustain a regular employment, sustain a regular job, or grow within the company. Companies in America are so greedy, they'd rather just take in men, use them up, use those choice golden years, and then spit that man out with no benefits, no retirement.
A car like you should look out there. Right, I should be hit me and knocked me out of his car. And he tailpipe put my arm, and he ran over and cracked my pelvis, my shoulder, and he ran over my ankle and broke my foot.
Did he stop?
Yeah. And then the cops came and they took me to the hospital, and I don't know what happened.
My God.
I beat bad sometimes. I beat bad almost the whole week. Usually I beat twice a week.
How did you end up, because you're a veteran, you served the country.
Right.
Right now you've been going through a tough time, but you're getting back.
Correct.
How did you end up on drugs? How did you get introduced to that? Thank God it's rained.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I said, it smells so bad over here. I said, I mean, just in the shopping centers, I mean, everywhere, it just smelled like urine. And I was like, something's not right. And you were like, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if something could outbreak.
Exactly.
And here it is a year later, fast forward, and
Exactly, and that's precisely what happened. I don't walk back there.
and this was a young,
A young person of Asian descent. I believe he's 17. So you would think that he didn't have a compromised immune system. So if someone who has
the genetics.
the genetics and has
And
or should have the type of immunity.
was he homeless? Because you don't see a lot of homeless Asian people, really. I guess.
Yeah, there's not a huge community of them out here.
So it can happen to anybody.
Yeah, that was the really terrifying thing. The security guards told me, don't touch him, don't touch anyone. If they have the dust on their clothes back there, if they sleep back there, do not touch them.
And you say back there, that's like, what area would that be? Emeryville, Berkeley?
Emeryville, around the
tents.
Yeah, around the
close to the railroads.
Yeah, around.
And it's just so many men destitute, jobless, barely getting by. Maybe they have a job, but it's not a job for like a grown man. Like, it's not grown man income, you know. Yeah, anybody can get a minimum wage job, but is that grown man income? Is that the grown man income if he has kids, if he has responsibilities? And what I'm getting at is, if a man is out here in America and he's not making enough money to provide for his family, and he does not have job security, and he's not growing in stature with the company and growing in knowledge with that company or that trade or profession, then it's easy for things to creep in, like depression, drug addiction. And then when that man begins to lose things that are important to him, then that's when the real turmoil starts. That's when the real addictions kick in. And I think that's what we're seeing here in America, because at the end of the day, it is what you're made out of. You know, are you going to fight, or are you going to keep pressing? But a lot of people give up. And there's a lot of men right now that have given up. And it's a sad thing to see. So you're a veteran?
Yes, sir.
Do they ever offer you help? Or?
Yes, sir. I don't want their fucking help. They can keep any goddamn help they got. I give my fucking help to them. I don't want nothing. They can kiss my ass.
Well, I want you to get some help for that foot.
I want $5 to give me a bottle because I'm hurt. I ain't got nothing for pain. I got some roses that I never, and I need a goddamn drink of vodka, so please give me $5. Pretty fucking please. Say what, mama?
Or is there anything you want to say in general?
Yeah, anybody that drives on a cell phone will be shot in the fucking head. If I ever catch anybody on a cell phone, man, woman, or child, I'm gonna break their goddamn hand. You'll eat that fucking cell phone, so you better hope this way out of hurt you. Anybody that's goddamn got that much disrespect for a fellow human being that God created or not fucking exist. Thank you. Have a nice day.
It's easy for things to creep in, like depression, drug addiction. And then when that man begins to lose things that are important to him, then that's when the real turmoil starts. That's when the real addictions kick in. And I think that's what we're seeing here in America, because at the end of the day, it is what you're made out of. You know, are you going to fight, or are you going to keep pressing? But a lot of people give up. And there's a lot of men right now that have given up. And it's a sad thing to see when I can meet a homeless man or a guy out on the streets and he fought for the country and he's all mangled up and he's just trying to get money to survive for that day. And it's like, here's a guy that went to war for my freedom, and yet he's on the streets. Or I meet another guy and he claims he can't get a job. And then after living on the streets, begins to develop a hardened look to where it becomes getting a job unattainable. But there seems to be some type of breakdown in this country to where there's not the American dream. There's not believing in the future. And that's not a good place. There used to be a time where the companies did believe in the future, and they did talk about long-term employment and you staying with the company. Now people have to adopt more of a kind of a bandit, gypsy / pirate mentality. It's like, okay, I'm going to take this job for a season. or I'm gonna take this job for a year or till they cut me off, and then I got to get another job, then I got to get another job, and then I'm gonna do this job for a while until I find something that pays me better. Instead of saying, wow, I landed a job that's really concerned about my future, that really wants me to grow within the company, really wants me to have something to retire into.
So I tell a lot of people, you got to realize that don't talk about the people, because it could happen to you one day. You could be right here right now, and about a year later I see you, and I see you in the corner, and I'm going to say, remember I saw you one time? You were driving a nice car. What happened? You lost your job.
Wow.
You know, if there was some kind of emergency and they had to gather people up for medical attention, I would hope that we would have the taxes to do that. Like, for the love of God, I hope that that is a thing that could happen, because it really could be detrimental and terrible.
Well, a lot of it's the high rent. It's the people who own these complexes, and they're making the rent so high, and I don't know if it's to weed people out or whatever, but if it's just, you know, charging high rent, it's greed, because people can't afford it. You know, people can't afford a $2,000 one-bedroom apartment and, you know, and work a retail job. You know,
it's fascinating, because my partner, who I'm not with anymore, was back there. We both were, and they have a bachelor's in engineering. You know, and they could not find the means to sustain themselves, to find housing here. They went back to Connecticut. They couldn't do it.
wow.
It's really incredible. I talked to a woman who was a teacher, and she said that, you know, she couldn't continue at her job, and she has chronic kind of lung issues, and her medical insurance was going out, so it's between her medicine and her housing, so she just got as much medicine as she could for her medical condition while she's looking, you know, as fast as she can for another job. I talked to a lot of people out here. It's not just, you know, the drug addicts and crazy people. It's people that have degrees. You know, I meet people out here who are very talented, very...
That other than their Mercedes and their Ferraris and their Lamborghinis and the Bentleys and the Rolls Royces and the McLarens and the new houses on the hill and the new loft and all that, that we have to be mindful that when you're ordering your $22 million yacht, that there's just so many people barely. Am I kind of hitting it home with what you guys were saying?
Yeah. That's what it is. They need to realize that not a lot of people have what they have. You know, they really need to, you know, give other people spaces and say, hey,
millions and millions of people
let's let other people get a job too. Not only because we have this.
They don't have.
It's like I told one day a man from the packing ship. He was a white guy, and I said, okay, I know this is your business. I know you come every season, every 3 months or whatever here in the summer. I know that you get all these people that they've been here more than what other people want to come and apply, but you need to let other people come and work with you too. He's like, I can't. If they don't speak Spanish, I can't. But you're a white guy. How do you understand all these people that they speak Spanish and they don't speak English? How? How do you associate? Because you have a partner that's Spanish people, and they're like, no. It's not that. It's not that.
Right.
Like that. So we really got to like open our eyes, and we can't be discriminating people saying that, we can't give you a job because you don't speak no Spanish or you don't speak no English. I can't give you a job because I'm racist. I don't like your race. So get away from my business. You know what I mean? Those are people do that. They do that a lot. I see that. I see that. And I don't discriminate.
Do you
people.
think it's more greed, or you think it's more racism?
More racist, I see that. Because I don't discriminate. I have parents that came from Mexicali, from Guadalajara, Jalisco. All my brothers and sisters were born in Mexicali. Yep. I was born in Brawley.
I came from
After that...
Well, let me tell you, racism's such an ugly tattoo to wear. It's a tattoo that it comes out...
They have them in their neck? They have them here?
But I mean tattoo in the sense of their persona and their outward manifestation and their outward actions. It's a tattoo you can't hide, you can't cover up. It's eventually going to come out.
And they still hire them.
No, what I'm saying is that when you operate hating people and not helping people, you are operating in a spirit of racism. And racism is a tattoo that nobody should wear.
It's the same season.
So out of
You
18...
don't know if he's eating tapioca put in their horse yet. I know the difference.
See you later, alligator.
Oh.
Wow, coming down.
You ever seen an asshole all wrapped up in plastic? Want to see my driver's license?
Instead of saying, wow, I landed a job that's really concerned about my future, that really wants me to grow within the company, really wants me to have something to retire into, that really cares about my longevity, my long-term investment in this company and in my future, that you don't hear or see that anymore. And that's sad, because that begins to take away from the purpose of a lot of men. You fought in Afghanistan?
2,771st Airborne Special Forces Sergeant First. Yeah. See, I got that. Yeah. And then a car hit me and broke my foot.
Right.
Over there, I'm to my discipline. I'm gonna want to say from like 90, 92, really from 1990 all the way to
So if
96.
if you hadn't got locked up at a young age, you probably would have went pro
Penn State.
all day.
And then I went to Klein Forest, went from a middle linebacker and a fullback to a left side cornerback. And with the team that they had, I know we could at least got at least one state ring with them. And I didn't get to see the freshmen in the JV to make that, but I know when I was there, I know I could have walked away with three state championships up there.
What school were you at that time?
Klein Forest. I went to Yates and Klein Forest. Alfonso Crutch, Charter, they tried to help me. Houston Can Academy was another one, they tried to help me, but it's just I've been taking care of.
You were on your own. It was too much on you.
I mean, my mom was on drugs at that time.
Dang.
I got two little brothers. From the ages of 14 up to this day, I paid. I got married in 05. Tascasita State Jail, man. Joe Keegan changed my life, man. Head cook in the county, head cook in state jail. I worked at the Houston Food Bank. Oh man, I learned the assembly line and stuff like that. Good. Project Rio helped us, man.
But here you had the potential in football to be one of the greatest.
Yeah, basketball too. What?
You was tight in basketball too?
I was more than tight. I'm talking about faithfully. In a tournament, I could easily score 30 points.
See what the hell I'm saying. All right, all the shit up on the street and everything that was going on and what I've done in my life, I take the responsibility of that because it is my decision that I made, and it's called procrastinating what you are actually doing that you're doing stupidly, pretty much. What I'm coming down to is that I love myself too much. I let things go too long. I was afraid of life because I didn't think people accepted me for who I was. That's one of the things. My manipulations, people trying to trap you into things. You know, it's like, you know, this is like when I do headlight restorations. It's like you can't do it by a visual thing. You know, you can't just read something on a label or somebody telling you that and said. That's not how it goes, because you got to really know everything about it. You got to know that circle. You got to know the whole circle and everything that spirals into the center. You know?
Well, I just was getting off work and bumped into an old football, middle school, high school legend here in Houston, Texas, Pierre Ramon Washington, and kind of just wanted to share how a lot of our school systems are broken. Here's a guy who could have clearly played pro, been a great leader, but through having to be a teenager and being raised with drugs, ended up getting locked up, and now is out working, struggling, going through a real struggle. And just what would happen if our school system, especially in some of the Black and Hispanic communities, got the support they needed.
Something has to happen for affordable housing. I mean, if you look at the quality of life over the last 40 years till now, it's deteriorated. I mean, it's just an evident thing that you see all around you. It's definitely not the same. I mean, good and bad, but just the amount of homeless people in struggle is incredible.
It's absolutely incredible.
I've had people tell me, well, if you're young, why don't you go to work and stop asking for all kinds of money? Why did you become homeless? You know, people like, well, I lost my place, or I lost my job somewhere. I did have a job, you know. Maybe they didn't one time, and maybe that could, you know, that could happen to a lot of people. That's why I tell a lot of people, you gotta realize that don't talk about the people, because it could happen to you one day. You could be right here, right now, and about a year later, I see you, and I see you in the corner.